Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. This week we check out how nebulas are made, 3.9 is released to the live servers, and finally we hear about Theatres of War beginning its testing phase this month. So before we begin, as you are aware, Alpha 3.9 is now on the live servers. There is a lot of issues to say the least. Many of these issues are due to long-term persistence and what sounds like the introduction of potentially the iCache to some degree. Other than that, it is not the most stable patch and has already had a few updates and work being done on the back end to try and resolve these issues. As I said on many of my streams, I am expecting a lot of disruption this year within the game due to the implementation of some back-end tech, like the physics refactor that was affecting 3.8. It already seems like the early implementation of iCache is having some issues on the long-term persistence. This is obviously going to be frustrating and difficult for us to play, but all of this tech is vital to making this game possible. Hopefully the issues are minor, but do expect some disruption. They are actively tackling the 3.9 issues, so let's hope they get resolved soon. So this week's Inside Star Citizen spoke firstly about the Issue Council, which is a tool on the Spectrum website, allowing us, the players, to report any issues or bugs that we may incur while we're playing the game. Now, it also allows people to contribute to existing posts from other players or upvote bugs that they're experiencing. CIG then use this to pull the most upvoted issues into their work task management system to prioritize which bugs get fixed first. Now, this is an excellent way of addressing feedback from us. When a bug apparently reaches 10 contributions, it gets validated and then gets flagged for CIG to actually work on. Now, this is obviously a great approach and a great asset to the game as it's getting built and allows us to get bugs sorted quicker, prioritizing which ones are the most annoying. I do suggest that if you are filling out bug reports, try and be as in-depth and accurate as possible. It will allow them to determine what the cause is, what the issues are, a lot quicker than just a random, this is happening, we need to stop it. Also, if you do contribute to the Issue Council a lot and thoroughly, then you could end up being an Evocati tester and get access to the Evocati builds, so bear that in mind. Anyway, the second part of Inside Star Citizen spoke about the voice comms. Now, this is currently a work in progress for Squadron 42 and the PU, but what's exciting about this feature is that the video feed you get of the person communicating with you is actually that character in real time within the world itself. This means that, for example, that they show here that if your co-pilot is being fired upon near his cockpit, then the lighting will flash around him as he's taking this incoming fire. It is all in real time. Now, there will be 4 types of comms. You'll have cockpit comms, terminal comms, mobiGlas comms, and they said FPS weapon comms as well. I don't know what that means, whether it's just a handheld item, potentially. But currently they're focused on Squadron 42 cockpit comm calls, getting it to a gold standard level, which means that they are taking this feature and developing it all the way to completion, fully polished, working perfectly. They want to make sure that the helmets are lit properly. Each ship's camera is set up differently depending on the ship's manufacturer as well. This feature is so good, and it will be obviously great in Squadron 42, but in the PU even more so, and you'll be able to talk to your friends in real time, seeing what's around them, what's behind them, and arranging things like missions, meeting, helping, aiding, all that sort of stuff. Very cool feature. Looking forward to seeing this get to that gold standard and just work properly. So on this week's Star Citizen Live, they looked into the gas cloud tech, which CIG used to create interesting spacescapes like nebulas. This isn't the same tech that they use for planetary clouds or gas giants like Crusader. That is different tech and a different process. Now, the gas cloud tech was originally used for Squadron 42 and the location called the Coil, which we saw in the vertical slice, and they're now trying to find ways to bring it to the PU as well. So they're exploring it so far with Lagrange points or space stations. Something they have been exploring, they mentioned, was maybe the death of a star. So if a star gets dense enough, it'll collapse on itself and spew out a load of particles, and the gravity of the star will pull those particles towards it, and so on and so forth. I think if they could bring that kind of interesting effect in, it'll be so cool. But they are just exploring different options of ways to populate the space with interesting stuff. Now, it's incredible to see how quickly they can actually build these interesting nebulas, which really create a lot of atmosphere around the environment, especially space stations. It would be great if they could bring these in ASAP. They look really good, so I'm looking forward to seeing those get implemented. How long we have to wait, I don't know, but could you imagine finding a derelict ship or a space station just going back and forth to Port Tressler, for example, and this gas cloud being dynamic and changing over time, affecting the atmosphere of the place, just adding maybe another facet to missions. But with that said, I will show it off in the background a little bit, but there wasn't really much said here, so we'll move on. So also this week, we had a post explaining that CitizenCon is officially cancelled due to COVID-19. However, they will put on a digital event to celebrate Star Citizen's birthday on October 10th. It won't be a virtual CitizenCon, but it will be an online celebration with us as well to take part in. With the release of Alpha 3.9, we have seen a new sale for the Esperia Prowler and for the Reliance, which I believe are now updated a little bit. Do remember we will have a Prowler game package giveaway happening very soon on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that one. We had an interesting post titled An Epic Month Ahead, which talks about what is happening this month. This includes a Free Fly Week, which is to celebrate the Emancipation Day and Armistice Day that marks the beginning of the new year of recruits into the UEE. So do expect a free fly, some special promotions and other things. Hopefully it'll be an in-game event as much as possible and we can observe this or take part in it as well. This month we can also expect to get an update on Squadron 42 from Brian Chambers, which should be very interesting. Looking forward to that. And finally, they mentioned that this month they intend to open up Theatres of War testing. One weekend this month, it says. It doesn't state what weekend, but it will be in May. This is very exciting and I cannot wait to try this out. Hopefully we'll be getting some more news soon. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share the video with all your friends. If you like what I do and want to help me make it better, follow the link below to my Patreon page to learn more.